Gemini, before we begin today, I want you to take a slow, deep breath and notice something. Have you felt, lately, that something unusual is happening around you? A strange, subtle shift. Not loud, not obvious, but persistent. Almost as if something behind the curtain of your life is beginning to move. You can't name it, but you feel it. Clearer, with each passing day. There are eyes on you, not admiring eyes, but watching, measuring, analyzing. There are words not spoken directly to you, yet you know they are about you. There are people who show up not to support you, but to see how easily you waver, and somewhere inside you've probably asked yourself, why do they see me as a threat? But Gemini, you're not here listening to this by accident. There is a reason you're in this moment. Because something big is coming toward you. Something strong enough to make those who underestimated you step back. A sum of money, a compensation, a reward, a recognition. Call it whatever you want, but it's moving in your direction. And the universe wants you to be ready. You may be tired. Tired of being misunderstood. Tired of dealing with unfriendly energy. Tired of constantly having to prove you are enough, capable enough, worthy enough to stand where you stand. But Gemini, if you're hearing these words, it's because you've come far enough on your journey that the world no longer has the right to define your value. You've endured enough, and now it is time for universal justice to shift to return to you what was taken, through money, through opportunities. So now, grab yourself a cup of tea, a warm coffee, or anything that brings peace to your heart. Sit down, lean back, and let me tell you a story, one your soul has been waiting to hear for a very, very long time. Part 1. Wake-up call. Gemini and the feeling of being surrounded by a rebellious gaze. Gemini. Sometimes in life, there are strange moments you simply cannot explain with logic alone. You look around and you realize something is changing. Not loudly, not obviously, but quietly. In the air. In the atmosphere. In the way people around you begin to react differently. And maybe lately you've already felt it, haven't you? A subtle shift inside your soul. A sense that everything is preparing to move in a completely new direction, even though you can't quite see the full picture yet. What's interesting is that sometimes you step into a familiar space and suddenly it feels unfamiliar. The voices are the same, the people are the same, yet the energy feels different. You feel watched not in a caring way, but in a scrutinizing way. Someone who doesn't like you is paying attention to every move you make. There are glances that look normal on the surface, but underneath them is quiet competition, quiet resentment, and sometimes you don't even know what you did to make them uncomfortable, because you're simply living your life in your natural way, intelligent, quick, adaptable, and full of light. But Gemini, the less you try to shine, the more your light draws attention. Some people don't dislike you because you did something wrong. They dislike you because you unintentionally remind them of something they lack: your intelligence, the speed at which you understand everything, your mental freedom, your subtlety. Without boasting all of it can intimidate unstable souls. They don't know how to handle that gentle strength, so they choose to respond negatively. And so you fall into a familiar loop. Misunderstood, underestimated, doubted, judged, simply because others cannot keep up with the way your mind works. Gemini often gets labeled as inconsistent, indecisive, unreliable. But those labels only come from people who cannot see the depth behind your choices. They don't know that every decision you make comes after a quiet, refined process of analysis, intuition, and self-protection. You've been misunderstood so many times that at some point you learn to shrink yourself. You choose silence instead of explanation. You choose a smile instead of confrontation. But that silence makes people think you are weak or easily influenced. They don't know that you stay silent because you see more than they do. You stay silent because not everyone deserves the truth from you. And here's what's most fascinating. The more resistance you face, the stronger your energy becomes. Not because they affect you, but because the universe is stirring everything on purpose, preparing to push you through a threshold where hidden truths begin to surface. A threshold where what was taken from you returns. A threshold where every silent conflict leads you directly to a significant reward. Gemini, let me say this clearly. The opposing energy you felt recently is not a negative warning. It is a sign that a large sum of money, a compensation, a justice-filled reward is getting so close to you that its energy is making jealous people restless. They can feel the shift even before you fully realize it, and so they react instinctively, resisting the light you carry. But they don't know your light is about to double once you receive what's coming. If you felt tired of living under those watchful eyes, know this: none of it is wasted. Every discomfort they feel is a sign you're approaching what's yours. Every hostility is a reminder that your value is higher than what they can reach. And every time you rise above their scrutiny with calmness, you step closer to the gift the universe has prepared for you. And if what I've said feels like someone finally sees the things you've been hiding inside, leave a gentle comment. I am ready to receive what belongs to me. It opens your receiving energy, and it helps other Geminis find this message. And if you feel called to continue this journey, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any signs the universe is sending your way. Part 2. Astrological Truth. Why Gemini is about to receive a big money. Gemini. If the previous part spoke about the strange energetic movement happening around you, then this part speaks about the movement happening above you. The celestial shifts that guide your life, even when you cannot see them. Because when astrology activates the most sensitive points in a zodiac sign's chart, that person's entire life begins to redirect. And right now, the sky is redirecting for you. Mercury, your ruling planet, is not only the planet of intellect, communication, and thought, it is also the gateway for information flow, opportunities, contracts, transactions, and money. So whenever Mercury moves through a financially active zone, like the 2nd house or the 8th house, it often brings expansion in income or reveals truths connected to your financial life. And in this period, Mercury is touching exactly that area, the area capable of shifting the financial landscape of Gemini in ways you did not expect. But it doesn't stop there. Jupiter, the planet of expansion and luck, is forming a harmonious aspect with Mercury. This is like someone opening a door for you and then turning on the lights so you don't miss it. Jupiter amplifies everything it touches. And when it touches your Mercury, it makes every money-related opportunity smoother, easier, and more aligned. This could be unexpected money, an opportunity you thought was gone, or a financial invitation that appears out of nowhere. Small things begin transforming into major turning points, simply because these two planets decide to work together on your behalf. And then there's Saturn. Many people fear Saturn because it's strict, slow, and heavy. But right now, Saturn is playing the role of a guardian of justice for you. Saturn watches silently, deeply, patiently. It records every effort you have made in silence. Every time you swallowed your pride to avoid conflict. Every time you stepped back to maintain harmony. Every time you used intelligence to rise above jealousy directed at you. And now, Saturn wants to return the value that life has taken from you. This return is not only recognition, but also money, stability, and long overdue fairness. Gemini always has to be smarter than others to avoid trouble. You always have to be more sensitive to keep the peace. You always have to read the room faster to protect yourself. You've had to hold yourself together while hiding wounds no one notices. And sometimes, you had to smile even when you could feel judgment burning through someone's eyes. But what the universe wants you to know is this: nothing you endured was meaningless. Everything was recorded. And when the planets align, the universe returns every piece of value that was taken from you. That is why this large sum of money coming toward you is not a random blessing. It is balance. It is compensation. It is cosmic justice activated after a long cycle of restraint and silence. And this money can arrive in many forms: compensation for something that once harmed you, a blocked opportunity suddenly coming back because the person who blocked it cannot hold it anymore, money from someone who once opposed you but now must repay what they owe, or a truth coming to light that naturally redirects financial gain toward you. The universe is recalibrating everything on your behalf, Gemini. And if you feel these words resonate with something your intuition has been sensing for a long time, leave a gentle comment. I am ready to receive the good that is coming. And don't forget to subscribe so you can stay connected with the journey the planets are unfolding for you each day. Part 3. Tarot opens the door. 3 cards reveal justice is being activated for Gemini. Gemini. There are moments in life when you no longer need to force yourself to understand everything with logic. If you simply listen a little, soften a little. Tarot is the way the universe speaks to those who listen with their whole heart. And today, the 3 cards that come forward for you are not just symbols, they are 3 pieces of a sacred message. A message about justice, about change, and about a large sum of money moving very close to you. The Magician, 6 of Swords, and Justice. 3 cards that seem independent, but actually connect perfectly, like a story you've been writing through your experiences over the years. Each card holds a secret, a perspective, and a truth you may have never spoken out loud, but your heart has always known. When the Magician appears, it is the first sign that you are reclaiming the power you once lost. This card represents mastery, intellect, and the ability to turn what you desire into something you can hold in your hands. It also represents the energy of Mercury, your ruling planet. Therefore, when this card shows up in a reading for Gemini, it's like a door finally opening fully in your favor. The things you once thought were only wishes are actually things you've unconsciously planted into the universe through every action, every decision, every moment you chose to endure pain with patience. The Magician tells you that the large sum of money coming your way isn't luck. It's a creation, something you've manifested through your persistence and intelligence, through the times you chose silence when you were attacked, yet you didn't weaken, through the moments you kept going, even when exhausted, through the countless times you remained kind, even when no one treated you with kindness. All of that has formed a frequency so strong that money, opportunity, and justice have no choice but to find their way back to you. And then, the 6 of Swords appears like a long-awaited sigh of relief for your soul. This card symbolizes moving away from pain, from toxic environments, from people who have always seen you as a threat. The 6 swords on the boat represent the wounds you've carried. But the important thing is that you are moving into calmer, safer waters. You no longer need to fight anyone. You're simply leaving. The 6 of Swords also warns that you've stayed in a heavy, energetic environment for far too long. A place where people failed to see your true value and instead reacted to your light with jealousy, resistance, and subtle but deeply hurtful behavior. You knew this. You sensed this. And even without saying a word, you've been quietly hoping for a door to open so you could leave peacefully. And now, that door is truly opening. As you step out of the old energy, money begins to flow into your life in unexpected but perfectly aligned ways. Because when you are no longer surrounded by envy or negativity, your energy becomes cleaner, stronger, and brighter, and only then can the blessings that were delayed finally reach you. And lastly, justice appears like the final confirmation of everything you've gone through. Justice is not a gentle card. It is like an invisible hand placing everything back into its rightful place. It restores the fairness that was taken from you. Every time you were misunderstood, justice took note. Every time you were underestimated, justice took note. Every time you were hurt by someone's envy, justice took note as well. Justice appears to tell you that the universe has never forgotten a single thing you endured. And the large sum of money coming is not luck nor a random gift. It is compensation. It is repayment. It is justice in material form. It is the universe affirming that you are far more valuable than you ever realized. Most importantly, justice arrives at the moment you stop trying to prove yourself. You no longer want to chase anyone. You no longer want to explain yourself. You no longer want to please anyone. And it is precisely in that moment that the universe can finally deliver what has always been meant for you. Because only when Gemini becomes still and confident within themselves can balance return. These three cards, the Magician, Six of Swords, and Justice, form a message that is almost too clear. Your time has begun. The money can no longer be delayed. The justice can no longer be blocked. And those who once opposed you can do nothing to stop what is coming. Part 4. Energy Ritual, Numerology and Colors, dedicated to Gemini during this period. Gemini. There are moments when the energy of the universe doesn't just touch your life through events or people, but through symbols that are small, subtle, and yet powerful enough to shift an entire cycle. When you enter a period in which finances, justice, and truth are being unlocked the way they are now, gentle, energetic rituals help you realign your frequency so you can fully receive the gifts the universe is placing in your hands. What matters is not complexity, but whether you are truly present in every small action you take. In numerology, Gemini is always connected to two numbers that hold incredibly strong meaning during times of transformation: 5 and 3. These numbers don't just represent your natural energy, they represent the doorway you are about to walk through. The number 5 is the number of freedom, movement, and breakthrough. The soul of Gemini is born to change, to move, to refuse being trapped in an outdated version of itself. When 5 shows up in your energy, it means you are very close to a financial or spiritual breakthrough. 5 also reminds you that the limitations others tried to place on you are now dissolving, and you are stepping out of the energetic cage that once made you feel suffocated. Placing the number 5 somewhere, you can see it daily. A small drawing on your phone, inside your wallet, or on your desk reminds you that nothing is holding you back anymore. You are walking into a new territory where money and justice meet. The number 3 carries a different message. It is the number of intellect, expansion, and the flow of ideas. Gemini has the ability to generate ideas faster than any other sign. But at times, toxic environments have strangled that ability. The number 3 reopens your creative channel, helping you see direction more clearly and guiding you toward intelligent decisions that lead to financial growth. Write the number 3 on a small piece of paper and place it under your pillow, or use it as your phone passcode, a way of reminding yourself that your intelligence is walking beside you in every choice. Color also plays an important role in energetic rituals. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of agility, thought, and communication. This is why pale yellow and blue are the two colors that activate clarity within your mind. Pale yellow helps you see the road ahead more clearly, especially in financial decisions. It stimulates confidence and analytical skill, helping you spot opportunities before others do. Blue brings calm and mental clarity, making it easier for you to connect with intuition. You can wear a small piece of blue or pale yellow jewelry, or choose clothing in these colors on important days. They help your frequency align with beneficial opportunities. And then, there is silver, the color of clarity, the color of truth coming to light, the color of illumination shining directly onto those who once opposed you. Silver holds the energy of cleansing, quiet, but incredibly powerful. You can place a small silver object on your desk or wear a silver ring as a shield that protects you from jealous or hostile energy. Silver is a reminder that truth cannot be hidden forever. And right now, truth is beginning to stand firmly on your side. These simple rituals below will help you align your energy to receive what's coming. In the evening, write down the names of people who have opposed you or hurt you through their jealousy. Then write what you feel they owe you energetically. Maybe an apology, respect, or simply returning the peace they once took away. After writing, burn the paper safely and with intention. You're not burning it to punish them. You're freeing yourself. As the paper burns, the invisible cords begin to dissolve, creating space for money and justice to flow into your life. Each morning, before starting your day, place your hand over your heart and say slowly, "I deserve what is coming." Do not underestimate this sentence. When you speak it daily, you recalibrate your heart's frequency so it can open to receive. Many Geminis struggle to receive good things because they are too used to giving. This affirmation brings the energy back into balance. And finally, make sure the number 5 appears somewhere visible in your living space. Each time you see it, the energy of financial unlocking is activated once more. If these rituals feel aligned with you, subscribe to the channel so each week I can share more practices that help you connect more deeply with universal energy. You can also share your thoughts in the comments to activate a positive energy flow between you and the journey you are stepping into. Part 590 Days of Transformation. Big Money, Revealed Truths, and Gemini's New Position. Gemini. There are phases in life when everything shifts so quickly that even someone as perceptive as you can't predict what's coming. The next 90 days are exactly that kind of phase. Not a small change, not a few subtle signs, but a major, clear, deep transformation. One that has the power to reshape your position in your family, in your relationships, and in your personal evolution. And what's most important is this: nothing that comes to you during these 90 days is random. It is the result of a long cycle in which you endured, matured, and quietly overcame challenges no one else ever saw. During this period, a major disruption is likely to occur. It may show up in many different forms: a conversation that exposes a truth long hidden, a shift within the family that turns relationships upside down, or a moment that forces someone to face the harm they once caused you. It may be a sudden financial event, an opportunity, a payment, an announcement that makes you pause and wonder if this is finally the moment you've been waiting for all along. The universe is preparing to reveal things you have sensed intuitively but never had proof of. Those who opposed you, who underestimated you, who tried to diminish your worth, will gradually be brought into the light, not through revenge, but through truth. And that truth will place you in the position you should have occupied long ago. They will no longer be able to pretend that you are not capable, not strong, not deserving. The years of being underestimated will end with a moment that is undeniable, straightforward, and impossible to ignore. And in that moment, the large sum of money we've been talking about from the very beginning will appear like a final punctuation mark. Not an ending for you, but an ending to the old cycle. The cycle in which you had to prove yourself. The cycle in which you were misjudged. The cycle in which opposing energy surrounded you, like an invisible test. This financial blessing arrives as confirmation that you made it through. It is not a victory you flaunt or use for retaliation. It is a quiet victory, a profound victory. The victory of a soul who has matured and no longer needs to prove anything. Because in the next 90 days, Gemini will no longer be the one trying to keep balance between relationships, between words, between half-truths. Instead, you will become the one who holds the truth, the one people turn to for guidance, the one your family looks to when they need clarity. And more importantly, you will become the holder of the flow, not just financially, but energetically. Stability, rewards, and new doors will begin to orbit around you. This is not happening because you are luckier than others. It is happening because you grew through pain, and the universe always pays back double to souls who endure with grace. As you step into this new role, you will realize you no longer need to respond to hostility. You no longer need harsh words. You no longer need to prove anything to anyone. The universe is doing all of that for you by placing you in a position that is higher, clearer, and out of reach. And now, as you reach the end of this message, I want to ask you a question that only your heart can answer. Are you ready to receive this gift of justice? A gift not only in the form of money, but in the form of respect, clarity, and freedom, the things you have always deserved. If your heart whispered, yes, leave a gentle comment. I am ready. This is not just a confirmation for yourself. It is an activation for the energy moving toward you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can continue walking with me through the journeys ahead, where each message is sent to guide and support you along the path you are opening, day by day. When you have followed me to the very end of this video, it means a part of your soul is truly ready to open and receive better things. The story about a large sum of money, about universal justice, about hidden truths being revealed. All of it is not meant just to soothe you, but to help you understand that you have the right to step out of old limits, the right to leave places that exhaust your heart, and the right to live in alignment with your true worth. The greatest lesson for Gemini right now is not how to surpass others, but how to return to yourself. When you stop running, stop proving, and stop holding on to things that no longer belong to you, that is the moment your life begins to shift. Money, opportunities, recognition, all of these naturally flow toward those who are peaceful enough to receive. And if there is one thing you should take with you after this video, it is the belief that you deserve the good things the universe is sending your way. Remember that every opposition you've ever encountered was simply a mirror reflecting the light you carry. Not everyone is wide enough to hold that kind of energy, and that has nothing to do with your value. The practical lesson for you is this: place yourself in environments that support you. Talk to people who truly see you, and choose the paths that make you feel lighter rather than constrained. Because when your spirit is at ease, your finances can finally flow in the right direction. If today's message touched you in any way, leave a comment to affirm your own energy. You can comment, "I deserve the prosperity that is coming." This not only helps you activate your receiving energy, but also helps the video reach others who need this message. Don't forget to hit like if you found the video helpful, and subscribe to the channel to continue receiving messages meant for your soul every week. Thank you for taking the time to listen, to feel, and to walk this journey with me. Remember that you are never walking alone, and the universe always knows how to guide you to the right place. See you in the next video, where a new chapter of this journey will continue to unfold.